She's don't worry, they are going to introduce her for you. I don't have the power to introduce her by myself.
Excuse me.
I want to ask you a question.
Excuse me,
Yes,
sir. These the assignments, are we doing them in the same file? I mean, as the landing
okay,
page?
yes. Sorry, I forgot something. So what you do is you add a new page, right? Add a new page. See, for those of you that are using UXPN, so if you add a new page, a new page will come beside it. Are we together?
Yes.
You
Those
add
of
a
us
new
using
For those of
SD.
you using XD,
Okay,
for
just
those
go
of
to
you
plus.
using UX the website, you just click on add a new page, then you'll be seeing page 1, page 2. Do you understand? Then for those of
Yes.
you using Adobe XD, you will just see new artboard. Let's see.
Okay. Yes, if you look at the 3 lines up and click on it. Okay, no, that one is new. We can't see any other thing.
1 second. Let me open my other laptop so I can be sure of what we are looking at. I'm going to show us how to add a new page. So basically in Adobe XD, once you add a new page, the page will be beside it like this. Can you see my mouse?
Yes, sir.
The page will come beside it just like this one. It will come like this in Adobe XD. So just don't worry. Before the class ends, I'm going to tell us for XD users how to add a new page. Sorry.
All right.
You know,
Excuse me, sir, Mr. Toby.
yes, please.
We that are using the UXP, how do we save the project when we are done?
See,
Okay.
look up.
Okay.
See,
Okay. Okay, I've seen it. Thank you.
look
You click
up
on the 3 dots. Okay.
the 3 dots and save.
Okay,
Like,
thank
don't
you.
save. Come here tomorrow and tell me it's not safe. You go back and finish it.
I'm sorry to take you back. You said to put an image inside a shape. You said it's the same process as Photoshop.
The same.
So you highlight both layers and click enter.
Eh?
Mm.
In
I
Photoshop,
don't.
you don't do that.
Please, can you
I'm
recap on that?
sorry,
Can
my
you
laptop
recap
is
on
so I can't really go back.
See, I told us you will select the 2 items, then you click on option, then you look for create mask or create
Oh yeah,
flipping.
yeah. Oh, that's
Uh-huh.
true. That's
Uh-huh.
Hello, sir. Hello,
Yes.
sir. Please, I just want to ask one question, a little bit of small, sha. I have one small document. How do I reduce the size on Photoshop?
What
All
kind of
the
document
is a vehicle license. I want to reduce it like 1 MB. I want to drop it to under like 100 kilobytes.
And you go online now, Google, just type online, reduce picture size. That's all. You
Okay,
upload the
okay.
picture on that website, then they help you drop it down.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right, good. So I'm going to hand over to Mr. Timilein to help us welcome our guests. Important somebody.
sorry, sir. Before you go,
No,
how do you?
I have to go. We are on a clock. I'm going to come back after we are done with the guests.
Mr. Toby, I have a question. It's not bringing out the mask, even after right-clicking the 2. Hello?
Which on Adobe XD?
Yes, I can see it too.
No problem. Let the guest speaker come on. Then I will put us through on how to add a new page on XD and how to create the mask. Please.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Timilein, over to you.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon,
Good
sir.
afternoon.
Yeah, so like I told you in the morning, so we have a very special guest, and we're very privileged to have her. Her name is Miss Banke Alawaye, and she's she's currently a CTO of a digital transformation firm, and she's someone that is very experienced in digital businesses and seeing and sharing insights on how you can convert your digital skills to using your digital skills and doing businesses like that. All right. So I want to share a picture. So, ma'am, we're very privileged to have you. Thank you very much for joining us today. Hello. Okay.
Afternoon, everyone. Should I use video?
You can use video if you prefer. It's fine.
Good afternoon, everyone. Lovely to
Good
be here.
afternoon.
Good
Okay, so maybe if we just go on mute if we're not talking so that we can hear. Thanks, Timileyin, for that introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. So Timileyin has asked me here to talk to you about maximizing your digital skills or maximizing opportunities in the digital space. You're learning so many digital skills over these few days, and hopefully you're looking at what you're going to do with that opportunity as time goes on. So I'm going to talk for a few minutes, and then I just wanted to also allow some time for you to ask me questions at the end. I only have 30 minutes, so I'll make this quick, and hopefully it'll be beneficial to you. So as Milan said, my name is Banke Alawaye. I've worked in the digital space for, I've been a programmer since I started my career over 20 years ago, and then I've worked in various ways in the digital field, including running a digital marketing agency for about 7 years. So I do have a bit of background in how to maximize digital skills. So what I'm going to talk to you about this afternoon is digital entrepreneurship, how you find job opportunities, and basically maybe some how you also find freelancing opportunities. The time we're in now is so, how should I say, it actually provides so much opportunity for people who have digital skills. Reason being that even up till a few months ago, as advanced as we all were and as much as we all talked about online businesses and how online was facilitating business, there was a lot of things that if you wanted to do, people still wanted you to do it in person. So if this training that you're on now, you would still have had to go sit somewhere and be in a class physically. And that was just what people expected, no matter how we explained to them that all these tools allow us to still be able to talk without sitting in a room with each other. Everybody really just wanted to be in the same room with each other. So now that we're forced to not be able to, we're forced into this new normal of learning online or even doing business online, having meetings online, working remotely, it seems like people find it a bit more believable that it's okay to work from home, or that you can actually earn a living without being in the same location as your employer, which means for you then you can start to look at global opportunities a bit more realistically. You start to actually believe that those opportunities are available for you. So just starting with entrepreneurship. When you have skills that you can deploy from anywhere, it means that it's very easy for you to be able to start your own business. And what does starting your own business mean? It's not necessarily, we're not necessarily talking about, being able to create or make something that you're selling, but offering your services as a business. And what are some examples of offering your services? So if you think about hotels.ng, what is that? It's a service. Somebody thought, how should I make money from connecting people with hotels. What needs do people have? They need to be able to search, find out what's available, find out the cost, and be able to book online. At a time when Nigerian hotels were not listed in a lot of the general international hotel listings. There's also someone that I know called and he writes for websites, he writes for magazines, and he's running his business. He's earning quite a lot of money being able to write for anybody who needs a writer. And he's writing for international clients, not just writing for Nigerian clients. And then, of course, we know the traditional blogs and things like that. So if you have the skills to put together a beautiful looking blog, you have a niche that makes sense, you can also monetize that. So there are many ways in which you could look at creating your own business. And the thing with that is that when it comes to digital, it actually reduces your barriers to entry for these things. All you need is the skill and the tools. So you have a laptop, you have internet connection, you literally can't start a business in the time that we're in now. So we have completely reduced the barriers to entry. You don't need that much money to start. Perhaps the cost of the data that you're going to use to start with. And with even just your data on your phone that you normally use, you can probably earn the first fee that will allow you to then maybe buy more data or even go bigger. And like I said before, you have access to a global marketplace. So your marketplace is no longer just companies in Nigeria. Now, let's not forget the companies. And when we say global marketplace, I know all of us start to think, oh, wow, I could earn dollars. Yay. So let's look at the global marketplace. But let's not only look at the global marketplace, let's also focus on the opportunities that exist in country, because the local opportunities are now immense. The companies out there are now saying, we can't have everybody in the office at the same time. So we need people who can do the work and who can do the work remotely. The people who can do the work remotely are the people who have the digital skills to be able to do the work remotely. You can't have somebody who can barely work on a spreadsheet, sit at home and then do work that has to be submitted online and then connect to communication tools and then use collaboration tools. You need people who are digitally savvy. So the fact that the more digital tools that you, digital skills that you acquire, the more marketable you are and the more that you're able to leverage opportunities. So when you're thinking about creating a business, if that's the route you want to go to, think about what value are you providing. Business opportunities, I feel that when we're looking at digital opportunities, people quickly think that they can build the next copycat thing of something else. So try and focus on your own unique selling points and think about what value you're providing. Try and find that value first. And then they always say, start small, scale fast. That's very, very important when it comes to building a successful business. At the end of the day, you don't really want to build what is going to end up being, you don't want to spend a lot of money trying to validate the market. You want to quickly test something easily. So for example, this could mean just that maybe you have an idea to create some sort of app to offer a service. So before you spend money and time creating that app, perhaps build a simple website and offer some of that service first and see what kind of traction you get before you then spend the money on the bigger build. That's what I mean by start small, scale fast. So you want to start with the smallest possible type of your service that you can do without spending a lot of money, without wasting a lot of time. See that people really like it or there's demand for it, and then you can then spend money on other things, on building and getting bigger. So always have that in mind. Validate the market first. Don't just rush to market with an idea because you think it's a good idea. Value is determined by your market, not by what you think is a good idea. So listen to the market and figure out what the idea is. So let's talk about job opportunities. Some career paths you could be looking at now would be anything from social media marketing, software developer. You're looking at how to, you're looking at design skills here. So maybe UX, UI. You could also be doing project management. That's another thing that you could be looking at. So there are various career paths you could be going through or thinking about as you start to look at, as you start to develop your skills and get better at some of the tools that you're learning here. And the thing that you want to look at as you do this is just being open to opportunities that come from organizations now. Like I said, organizations are now they're now happier to hire somebody who can work remotely. They now see the value of remote work. So it means that you yourself have to be able to create an environment where you can work, where you can work without distractions, where you can also create some sort of value in your environment. So if you are planning to do the UI UX thing, you can work locally, you can work globally. And some of the ways, some of the sites where you can find the kind of work that you'll be looking at, I'm sure you've all heard of this, and some of you might actually be on them, but there are many freelancing sites that exist. There's Fiverr, there's Upwork, there's People Per Hour, Freelancer. There's quite a few, and I'm pretty sure that you probably have a list somewhere. And if you Google it, you would find that there's many to choose from. But I think the thing that you should perhaps be most focused on is making sure that you have a variety, not just your technical skills, so you have a variety of skills. We want technical skills, yes. So this is what you're learning here now. You're learning the actual skill of creating the designs or whatever else that you need to learn. But the other thing that you need to be thinking about is additional soft skills on top of that. Communication skills, to be able to communicate effectively on timelines, project scopes. If you're working remotely, it becomes even more important to be able to send a business email using the right tone of voice, the right nuances. If you're sending a business email, you should not be using abbreviations. You should, write it properly, use a nice email signature. I mean, there's so many things I can talk to you about, just even communicating business-wise. Because now the people that you're dealing with, you will be doing work for companies, local and global. You are looking to be taken seriously as a professional. So you should not be selling your work sort of like the guy who just doesn't have anything to do that I gave something to do. No, you actually now you package your skills and you are a professional in your area, whether you are starting a business of sorts or you are working as a freelancer or as an outsourced person or have a job contract with a company. You're a professional, whichever way you're looking at it. So professional communication, you need to know how to do that and be doing that effectively. You need to be looking at even having the tools to schedule your time, to plan how you work, to make sure you don't take on too much. Again, what happens when we're freelancing, and if you're perhaps not costing your time right, is that you end up taking on too much and then you're not delivering value. So you have to know how to schedule your time, how to value your time and charge the right prices. Nobody wins a price war. Don't go to markets trying to be the cheapest. You can't be the cheapest. You should offer good value and good value at going market rates. Don't try to be the cheapest. You see what happens with a lot of people who advertise that they can build you a website for 5,000 naira or market or do your social media marketing at 4,000 naira a month. What happens is that They get a ton of people who are looking for cheap, and then they can't deliver. Because yes, you get a lot of people when you're offering below market rate, because everybody wants something free or near free. But then at 5,000 naira per piece, you can't afford to hire somebody to assist you because you need all that money for yourself. So then you can't deliver. So those kind of things. So what I'm saying is that apart from the digital skills you're learning, the technical skills that you're learning, you should be looking at what other soft skills, or should I say business skills or personal skills that you need to learn so that you can manage your time, price yourself well, know exactly the kind of clients you want to attract, know how to communicate effectively, and also basically to be able to say no to some jobs that don't serve you. You will be looking at building a portfolio, knowing how to position yourself online, because now the people who want to hire you are going to be looking for you online. So know how to position yourself online, how to present what it is that you can do, your portfolio online, and those kind of things. So I feel like I've been talking for about 15 minutes now, and I really do want you to be able to get in some questions if you want to. So if you need to ask a question, so just chime in and say something, and I will pause so that we actually get a few minutes to answer your questions. Otherwise, I'll just continue to talk about the kind of skills that you do require. So any questions thus far?
Okay, not yet.
Okay, sorry, ma. If anyone has a question, you can just raise your hand. Like tap on the feature to raise your hand, so you can get your notification that you want to raise your hand, that you want to ask a question. I think that's fine.
Okay, so perhaps I will ask a question if you're not able
Someone's
to
hand
ask
is raised.
questions.
Someone's hand is raised.
Okay, can I have that question?
Daisy, you can go on.
Okay, hi, Miss Banke. My question is post COVID-19, what do you think people who are graphics designers, you've been talking about the skills that we should learn, and I really appreciate it. But what do you think will be more sought after going forward? Like, should we all go for artificial intelligence? Because I noticed that the more conversations we have about certain subjects, people might tend to flood that place. So is there like something else we should be looking at while others are looking at artificial intelligence or looking at augmented reality? Is there something else we should be looking at as designers?
Thanks for that question, Adeze. I think that you should go with your strengths and interests. There's something that I've always believed in, that work should be enjoyable. You should flow with your work. You should do what you're good at. Yes, you can learn more, obviously, and hone your skills. But I think when you start from what it is that you like to do, what you have a flair for, what really interests you, you already put yourself a little bit ahead of the pack, ahead of the people who are doing it because somebody said this is where the money is at, rather than the fact that you so really like doing this that you are able to absorb all the new information very easily, and then you're talented at it. Again, talent speaks for itself. All these things you mentioned, artificial intelligence, data analytics, they're all growth industries. But then so is design, so is product development, so is project management. They're all growth industries if you have the right skills and the right attitude to work. So I wouldn't say that everybody needs to be looking at artificial intelligence, but those are areas, and I think that a quick Google search shows you which areas people are looking for work, looking for people who are working in that area. I think that design skills are very important right now, because you know why? Everybody is trying to figure out how to translate their business online. Now, the only way I'm going to be able to offer my service online is that I have to make it attractive to the end user. that is where design skills come in. So I don't think design skills are going down anytime soon. It is finding your niche. It is positioning yourself for your target market. It is also knowing more than just what you do. So for example, design skills may be what you're selling, but then you may start to focus on the education sector and have another layer of skill that you're adding to your skill set, so that you're able to say that you can design education portals or education platforms, and that puts you over the edge. If I'm somebody who's looking for a designer for an education platform over somebody who just does all design. So you have to start to think a bit more strategically as to how you position yourself. But I don't think that there is one area that is going to be the one area. I mean, of course, there are some things that are very important now. The health sector is really important. Agriculture is a big deal. But technology is what drives all these things. And technology, there's no technology without the user experience, without the user interface. And that's where design comes in. I hope that answered your question. Any other questions?
Yes.
Adeze, did that answer your question?
Yes, it did. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Anybody else have anything else?
Okay, so I want to ask this question, and the question is that being young freelancers, young people that are coming up with digital skills, is it okay to start with maybe not pricing your service at the industry standard price? Is it okay to maybe bid down a bit so you can have a list of portfolio projects that you can show to people that will be willing to pay?
Okay, good question. So pricing, and when you say industry price,
sorry, Ma, please come again. I didn't get that.
Okay, so I was going to say that pricing, when it comes to, I mean, when you say industry price, I'm talking about pricing and all that. If you really think about it, even industry price knows that some people are entry level, and at the entry level, this is what the industry is expecting to pay. At 2 to 5 years experience, this is what you should be looking at. And above that, this is what you should be looking at. So if you're entry level, you obviously should not be pricing yourself as somebody who has the same way as somebody who has 7 years experience, for example. You would be pricing yourself accordingly as entry level, which is the same across all industries. What I'm saying, what I'm advising on pricing is don't be so, don't price yourself so low that you now cannot produce quality work, or that you start letting people down because you can't do the work in the time that you said. That's what I mean by don't try to compete on price to that level. Don't make it too low. Now, I do understand that you have to be able to create some, get some jobs under your belt so that you have something to show. And it's okay to do, even instead of doing pricing yourself so low that people think you're too cheap, because it's hard to get out of that cheap bucket. I'd rather even offer to do something for free. So look at a brand that you admire, or an influencer, create something for them, and all you're asking is for them to share it, so that you can use it in your portfolio and use it as a reference point as work that you have done. The point with being too cheap is this. If you work for company A and something that should be priced at 50,000, you charge 10,000 for it, company A will always put you in the bucket of the 10,000 naira guy. And by the time you even have experience enough to say, I'm now 50,000, company A will never pay you the 50,000. And what usually happens is that Company A will introduce you to company B and say that, oh, see this guy, oh, he's really good. He's cheap. He's just 10,000. Company B too will say they're just 10,000. He will not want, at the most, you might be able to up it to 12 or 13, just like, I gave those people a discount. I can't do the same for you. And then it becomes a struggle to get out of that 10,000 naira bucket when all your peers are charging 50,000 naira for the same thing. I understand that sometimes you just really want to work and get the work out of, but be careful how you do it. Be very careful that you don't get stuck in that cheap bucket. It's very hard to get out of it.
Wow. Wow. Thank you very much, ma'am.
You're welcome. So we have 5 more minutes. Maybe I can take 1 or 2 more questions.
Okay, so one hand is raised. Chika, you can go ahead. Chika, you can unmute your microphone and ask your question. Chika. Okay. So, ma'am, I think you should continue. So when he's ready, he or she, when the person is ready.
Okay, so, well, I think basically I've covered a few of the tips I wanted to give you. And I think what is really important for you as you move forward is that online visibility, knowing how to market yourself. It's a skill that if you don't have it, go and learn it. You can learn it for free online, or you can pay someone to teach you, or you can pay someone to help you do it. You cannot be a freelancer in this age and time and not at least even have a portfolio website for yourself, especially a creative freelancer. So create a website. Even that even shows me your design skills and your creativity just by your personal website that you have created. And you don't have to spend money on it. You can use any of the free tools available. You can create it in a free, you can use About Me doesn't allow you to do too many fancy design things. But there's websites that allow you to be a little fancy and create some things. So that I'm looking for a freelancer to do my social media graphics. If that's what you do, I find you when I Google for somebody that's around me or something like that. So it's very important that you start thinking about your marketing skills. How actually are you going to get this work? The opportunity is there. People are looking. Companies are trying to figure out how to transition in this period, and they need people with digital skills. So you just need to be able to showcase that you have the digital skills. Use social media wisely, not just for showing up when you go to parties, but really use it to attract the kind of people that you want to work with. Is Chika back?
Chika.
I get it. That's fine. I thought I saw one of the names like someone to speak. That's fine. So I think that with these my few words of advice, I hope that you see that there are opportunities out there for you with the digital skills that you're learning. It's really about you figuring out whether you're trying to create a business with the skills or whether you want to work for companies or set yourself up as a freelancer. There are many routes to the opportunities that exist. You can register with all those gig websites, the ones I mentioned. Being a Fiverr doesn't mean that everything you do is $5. It is just an entry point. So you can create packages that range from the $5, and then you do bigger packages basically based on your skill set and what you can offer. And then register on the other freelance websites based on what it is that you're trying to do. There are many websites, depending on your skill sets, what it is you want to do, exactly what you're interested in. This website.
Ma'am, your microphone is muted. Yes.
Yeah, I just saw that it was muted. I was sitting here talking and then it was muted. So I was saying that, yes, so freelance websites, very quickly, I wanted to round off on that. when you use a freelance website, sometimes the rates are low because a lot of freelancers competing for the same work, but it's a way to build your portfolio. Use a freelance website, get a few jobs under your belt, so then you have something to show when you are coming to approach a company directly, not through the freelance website. So I hope this session has been useful to you. I've enjoyed talking to you. If the last person that wanted to talk just asked their question, otherwise, I'm going to say thank you for your time and I wish you all the very best.
Okay, all right, Matt. So thank you very much, Matt. But we're not done just yet. He wants to type. He said he's having issues on muting his microphone, so I asked him to type in the chat room.
Okay.
So Chika, please do that quickly. Okay, someone else wants to ask. Peter, you can go ahead.
Okay, she answered my question already. I wanted to ask about some of the valid websites that we can check to see some job opportunities, but she called them already now.
Okay, all right, okay. So Chika is not coming up. It's not typing. I don't know why. Okay.
Okay, so I gave you allweeks.com to build a portfolio website. Yes, thank you, Adaeze. That is a very good one to use. And you can just use the free one to start with. At least just use it to show your skills if you're not ready to spend some money. Chika says, how can you relate your animation passion with this class? Oh, wow. So Chika, what I'm not quite sure about is whether you're asking about what I said or you're asking about the general course that you're going through. So if you're saying that you have a passion for animation, I think that you can continue to hone your skills in that area and create a career or a business out of it. So Chika, if you need some more clarity, maybe you just need to expand on that question a little bit more. But I think that what I think that you're asking is that if you have a passion for animation, yes. So how good are you at it? Hone your skills, learn all you can about it, and then start to. So everything I've said applies. Companies who need, in fact, today I was talking to my business partner about how we need someone to work on some videos for us because we're looking for videos that are animated rather than speaking to the camera videos. So there are companies who are looking for this information or who are looking for these skills. The one is you make sure that you're very good at it because you can't get away with being half-baked, especially when there's so many people you're competing with. Be good at it. Have a great attitude to work. Put yourself out there so that I can find you. So now today, when I was thinking about getting somebody who can do animation, if I had Googled it, would I have found you? So these are the things. Are you following me on social media? Are you showcasing your skills? Do I know that you exist? These are the kind of things that you all have to be thinking about. You can't just have the skill and be quiet about it. You have to have the skill and showcase it, put yourself forward so that you can be found. Similar, anything else? Okay, so any other questions or are we ready to wrap up?
Adaeze, your hand was raised. Do you have a question?
Okay, I wanted to find out if there was, I put up Wix.com as a place to build portfolio website because that's like the one I know. But I was wondering if you knew something, another website or another tool we could use.
Wix gives you that free one. There's also one called Strikingly, and then there is, I can't think of the names right now. You could also do WordPress, even the free WordPress, not the WordPress what is it now? Is it .org that is free, and then
No,
.com is
WordPress.com.
free.
WordPress.com is free.
.com.
.com is
Yes,
free.
yes.
Yes.
.com is free. So you could use that as well.
Okay, thank you so much.
And if you have a little bit to
Okay.
Is it just me or I can't hear? I don't know.
About domain name and hosting, you do the full hog.
So Peter, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir, now.
Okay, I think she's having a bit of an issue with her network. All right, so okay, I think she's back.
Similarly, I'm
sorry.
still online.
Yes, we are online now. We've not been hearing you, man.
Yes, I thought that it got disconnected for a short while, so I was trying to see if we were back on. So, did we hear the answer I gave about strikingly WordPress and all that?
Yes, we did. Yes, we
did. Okay. All right. I think that was it.
All right. Thank you very, very, very much, man. I mean, this session was very insightful. I mean, and we are very grateful that you chose to spend this time with us. Thank you very much, ma.
Thank you for having me. It was my pleasure. Enjoy the rest of the day.
You too,
Bye.
ma.
Thank you very much, ma.
Bye.
I really appreciate it.
All right. So everyone, please, it is important that aside when we bring people to speak to us, it's also important that we try to jot things down and put to practice what is being insights that are being shared with us. She just spoke to us now. She has worked with Facebook and she has worked with a lot of other multinational organizations. So it's just important that you try to apply things that we get from this session. All right. So finally, I dropped the attendance sheet in the chat room, so you can quickly fill attendance before you sign out. Mr. Toby, are you done?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
All right. So you can, if you have anything to recap, you can just continue. So
Yes.
the attendance is on the group, so just fill it. All right.
Yeah. So there's one more thing I promised us that will share us how to add a new page to XD and how to create a clipping mask. So I'm going to share my screen now. Okay. Can we all see my screen, please?
Yeah.
Hello. Can you see my screen, everybody?
Yeah.
All right. Good. So this is XD. For XD people, does this look familiar? Is this what you have on your own screen?
Yes, it is.
Yes. So, can you see my village people? It's not that my unmute has worked.
I told you now, village people, but you don't want to answer me, so it's fine. So basically, I want to show us how to put a picture into a shape, right? So what I have here is I have a picture and I have a box. So I want to put this picture inside this box. Same way, if I have a circle and I have a picture, I want to put this picture inside the circle. Now, in the layer section on the left, this is the button for it, layers. If you look at your bottom left, the second to the last button is layer C. Once you activate it, all your layers will show. This is your school bag for XD, right? So you make sure that the picture is on top of the box. Can you see it? Can we see it, please?
Yes.
Now, you will then move the picture on top of the box, make it bigger. but move it on top of the box. Make sure it's covering the box. Then what do? You select the two of them with shift, just like we did in Photoshop. You highlight the two of them. So you can see now, I've highlighted the two. Then I press option. Then see mask with shape. Can you see mask with shape? If I click on it,
Yes.
can you see? Can you see?
Yes.
Can you see? So now it has become one. The picture and the box, they have become one. Are we together?
Yes, we
Hello.
are.
Did I answer that
Ah,
question? All right, good. Then the number 2 is, how do you add a new page? I'm sure you remember we created iPhone X page when we started, right? So what you just do is you come to the bottom. Can you see this icon on top of this zoom button? Can you see this icon? The second to the last one.
yes.
Yes, this one that looks like the one under text 2. The one under text 2. Just press it. It will give you some options on your right. Then you press it. The 2 under text 2, this one, you press it and you click anywhere on the screen. A screen will come out. Can you see?
Yes.
Hello? Did you see what I just did?
Yes, yes, it is.
All right, good. So that's the end of the class. I will send our plenty assignment to the Telegram group for us to finish.
Excuse me.
All right, all right.
Ah,
Sorry,
excuse.
please make sure you fill the attendance. Make sure you fill the closing attendance.
Yes,
It's very important.
yes.
All right, it's very important.
Make
I
sure you sign
noticed some people were not filling attendance. We are
and you were in
preparing.
class.
So let me just give you a tip. We are preparing the certificates, and it's important that you fill the attendance. If your attendance doesn't get to a certain percentage, we might not be able to make a certificate for you. Please fill the attendance. 2 days more now. Please fill the attendance. And don't forget the demo day on Friday, the presentation you're going to be making. All right. We'll be having some of the people that have been speaking to us around, and GIZ also. So you'll be making presentations, and possibly, who knows, you can get an opportunity from there. So plan yourself properly and present. All right. So some people wanted to ask Mr. Toby something.
Yes, sir. Mr. Toby,
Yes, please.
and this is Peter. You said I I asked the question on how
Huh?
to save. I asked the question earlier on how to save.
How to what?
How to save the project, which you answered. Now, when you export, hello, sir.
Yes, I can hear you.
When I exported the project, it showed that it was downloading, and I can't find it. It gave me options whether to save on PDF or HTML, and I chose PDF, but it downloaded and I didn't find the job. And
Yes.
the location for download is not there.
So the thing is that you need to look for where your browser saves your downloads to. That's
But
the job. Like,
what
where
is
does
it?
your download? You understand what I just said? Where does your browser take your downloads to? That's what you need to check.
Which I said is downloads, and that's why I'm asking, because
Now,
it's
usually
not there.
when you download something in your browser should show you at least what you downloaded, right? So can't you
Yeah.
click on option and say show in Finder or show in Explorer? Instead of looking for it, just go through what your browser downloaded. Like when you download something on your laptop, it shows what you downloaded at the bottom of the browser, right?
Yeah. Yes,
Now,
sir.
why don't you click on option, the 3 buttons beside it, and say open in and closing Finder or whichever your system says.
Okay. All right,
Now
thank you.
you already know where it is because it's your browser that does the job, not the website. Your browser took it somewhere, so your browser needs to take it to where it took it to.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Toby,
Ma,
Issues with
please,
clicking
I
mask click.
noticed that after I clicked on this layer, okay, there's after I created a new, I added a new slide. Okay, the first one I'm working on is now hiding at the back of my left side tooth.
yes,
Did you
that's where
get
it's
that?
supposed to be. That's where it's supposed to be.
But it's not letting me do the, as in, that's where it's supposed to be.
So just scroll like see just sorry 1 second, let me show you something. Just chill. I want to get what the issue is. I'm coming, so I'm going to share my screen. Can you see my screen? Hello?
Your
Hello?
screen, sir. Yes, sir. I can see your screen.
Yes, so what was your question? You have to be like this, right?
See, my question is this, this very first, the first one, the first one is now
This first
hiding.
one, yes?
Yes, it's now hiding on the under the left two there. Even when you minimize this what do you call this, your school bag here?
It's hiding underneath it. I don't understand.
No,
Underneath it,
okay,
how?
close your school bag.
Do you mean like this?
Yes, but I'm not able to move it.
And so use your 2 fingers to move your mouse to the right. Like swipe your mouse to the right. It should move.
I've done that before I called you, it's not moving. It
Like
happened after.
you mean it's not moving like this? I don't know if you get what I'm saying. You are saying it's not moving like
Again,
this. Eh?
yes.
It's ready. The issue that I
It's
don't
not
know.
okay. It has highlighted now. If it highlights, it's not moving. That's what I'm saying.
No. Once you are light, it will move now. I really don't get the problem. Is it moving?
It's not. The former work I'm doing is now not moving. It's just
Like this.
under where you have rectangles, circle, triangle, typing. That's where it is. And it's not moving out.
Just snap it on the screen.
I don't understand. It's just
Okay,
like
let me.
this. It's like this.
It's like this.
This is what you have.
No. Should I snap and send to you so that you can view it?
And probably text me on Telegram.
Okay.
You know, it's on my system. The thing I even tried to store it on Flash. You know.
Bye bye everyone.
Mr. Toby,
I'll send the assignment to the group. Have a great day. Bye bye.
It can't
Bye bye.
download. You must put it direct and print.